Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over another Leetcode question, house robber. This is a dynamic programming question and often asked by major tech companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, etc. during technical interviews. I will try to explain how dynamic programming works and how you can solve this problem. I hope you will find this video tutorial helpful for your technical interview preparation, and we can start with reading the question. You are a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street. Each house has a certain amount of money stashed. The only constraint stopping you from robbing each of them is the adjacent houses have security system connected, and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. Given a list of non-negative integers representing the amount of money of each house, determine the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. So this is basically saying we have a series of houses and we can only rob the first house and the third house. We cannot rob two houses next to each other. For example, in this case, we cannot rob the first and second house. We can only rob first and third house, second and fourth house, and we cannot use two houses next to each other. We can rob first and fourth house as well. We don't have to rob all the houses. So this is pretty much what this question is saying. So let's try to go over examples here. So in this case, I can either pick 1 and 3 or 2. In this case, I'll pick 1 and 3, and that will give me 4. Because 2 and 1 is less than 1 and 3. In this case, I can pick 2 and 9 or 7 and 3. So I pick 10, because 2, 9 plus 1, that will give me 11. Sorry, that will give me 12. And 7 and 3 will give me 10. Let's try to go over them on the whiteboard. So, if the given array has only one element, if I have only one house to rob, then I will simply return 1. I'll simply return this number because I have no other houses, nums of 0. If I have two houses to rob, if the array length is 2, I can either return this one or this one. I have to choose the max number, so whichever is greater. So in this case, I'll pick 3. In this example, I can choose 1 and 0 or 4 and 0, but I don't have to rob all the houses. So what I'm going to do is I will pick the first one and the last one. So that will give me 5. This will return 5. In this one, we have just solved this one, 1 and 3, that will give me 4. This is the second time I'm recording, so I better delete this and start over. Alright, so this is the given array, and this is our algorithm. So we create a DP array. You may see this as DP array in other questions. This is for dynamic programming, and this is a bottom-up approach. So we are collecting small numbers towards a bigger number. We collect numbers along the way, so we don't have to redo the calculations. It's like memorization or storing the number. So in this case, we have a DP array total so far, and it's nums of length, same as the given number of length. And we go through the array. Let's start with 0, so I can explain. In this array, I need to choose every time I come across a number. For example, in this number is 0. In this case, I cannot do I minus 2. That would be out of the boundary array, out of the bounds array. So, bounds exception, sorry. So in this case, I cannot do I minus 2. So this array has to start from 2. And I have to take care of first two items separately. That's what we will do after. I'm breaking the code into pieces so you can understand. So let's do this array using this code. In the first item, I'll simply pick the first item, it's 2. In the second item, I can either pick this one or this one. I pick the max, so that will be 7. Third item is where we can use this algorithm. We cannot use this algorithm in the first two items. So nums of I is 9 plus total so far I minus 2. Every time I pick this number, I add it to the total so far DP array. So this is the total of the numbers. This is not the same as this not one. This is the DP array. So total so far I minus 2 is 2, and my current number is 9. And I will compare it to total so far is 7. So I minus 1 is 7. Compare it to 11. So I'll pick 11. Nums of y plus total so far I minus 2. 9 plus 2, 11. And I continue. When I hit 3, it will be nums of y 3 plus total so far I minus 2. So that will be 3 plus 7 is 10, or total so far I minus 1, which is 11. So I pick 11 and put it in my DP array. So this DP array is basically total of the max number you collect. So this way you can pick the first and last houses. So because this array is collecting all the total numbers of the items. I hope this makes sense. So I guess the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 the last item. So nums of I is 1, and total so far is I minus 2 is 9. Sorry, 11. We are not looking at this array, we are looking at this array. Just pay attention here. Total so far I minus 2 is 11, and nums of y is 1. So I will compare it to total so far I minus 1, which is 11. 11 plus 1, that will give me 12. So finally, I return the very last number of the DP array. So which will be 12. That will be my answer. So this is pretty much how the algorithm works. I hope this makes sense. So we are creating a new DP array, and that will be the total numbers of each item as we go through. So we collect numbers. This is bottom-up approach. So we collect numbers and add it to the array, and we reach towards the number that we're looking for in the final. So let's see this in the code. Okay, the first two numbers have to be taken care of because our array starts from 2. So for the DP array, the first number is again nums of 0, and total so far 1 is either nums of 0 or nums of 1. We are taking the maximum. If I have 2 items, I pick the maximum of 2. So in this case, either nums of 0 or nums of 1. That will give me the DP array first item. DP array, the very first second item is this. First item is nums of 0. To not to get index out of the boundary array is, then we need to do a couple of checks here. If this is a rubbish array, then we return nums of null, nums of linked is 0, then we return 0. If linked is 1, again we need to return the very first number. If the linked is 2, we need to return max of these two numbers. Then we create our DP array. You can call this DP again, I'm telling you, you can call this DP, but this is easier to understand this way. total so far. That should be the same length as nums of length, nums you created. The first two items are created, then you go through the array from starting from 2, do the math, then return the very last item of the array. So this is pretty much it. Let's submit and see if it's going to work. Bingo. All right. So this is how you use dynamic programming. There are other questions coming up, so I will be uploading more videos. If you subscribe to my channel, we can meet again later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.